Tony DeLuz here this evening. Liv Stowell has her senior day. She's in, and Cahill, the goalie, she will play for the injured Madison Howard. And so we are underway. It is the Pan It Pink night here from Spry.
Already you can see Wake Forest trying to break down that right-hand side. On a night like tonight, senior night, a lot of emotions from these players. I've been there as a player myself. It's a night that when you look back on your career, you tend to remember most of all for the Demon Deacons. They'll want to make this a memorable night and get the win. Boston College, when they get the ball, they like to spring and try and play direct to spring Ella Richards. Play for knockdowns and try and possess the ball in midfield. Wake Forest winning it back. Early on, this ball is just pinballing around. Both teams trying to get possession, trying to settle things down. Foul right there on Anna Swanson. Boston College set to take the set piece. Number 7, Kristen Johnson. Gonna lob it in the box. Wake clears. Swanson coming down the left. He's going to check it back. Swanson, she's an interesting story. She's got 2 goals, 2 assists on the year. She's been very versatile for Tony DeLuz's side. Boston College throw-in. 3 minutes gone. This game is slowly waking up. Both teams exchanging possession. Boston College making their way to Wake Forest Sen. Throwing for the Eagles. Number 9, Sydney Segala will take it. Just trotting over to the sidelines. Richards turns it over. Wake down the counter. MC Brown at the ball. And Brown, typically a center back, she's playing in a more natural position, more familiar position, defensive midfield. You get to see what she brings, the composure she brings at center back. See if she can translate that to the midfield. Ball over the top, falls into Peyton Cahill. The Wake Forest team at 8-2-4 on the year.
He's trying to build off of the game against North Carolina.
Ball down the channel. Wake again, they're looking to break this high line of Boston College. The Eagles sitting in the mid-block, looking to spring these pressing traps. And the Demon Deacons, once they get towards the halfway line, it's about finding that final pass to pick the lock of this back line. Brown on the ball. Swings it out. Chavashy. An errant pass, but only Morris there to collect. Keep an eye on that movement. As soon as Morris gets the ball, it's Emily Murphy looking to make that run, that slashing run to get in. The space is there. All it takes is for the right weight on the pass to spring her in and get her through on goal. Turnover, Boston College will keep the ball moving. Chavashy on the ball. Gives it up to Micah Mina. Mina back again. Goes that direct play that we've seen early on. An errant pass from Dempsey Brown. The Eagles starting out confidently, trying to play between the lines and draw Wake out of their own end and really make some of those entry passes. And Boston College on the charge. Get in the box. Ooh, interesting chance. And Wake dodging a bullet there. Peyton Cahill thinks he may have gotten a touch to it and made the save. Back come the Demon Deacons. Turnover at midfield. Boston College in on goal, and Cahill there to smother it down. Now let's look at the Eagles head coach Jason Lowe in his 5th season in Massachusetts. Season hasn't gone the way he planned this year, but they're coming off a massive result against Louisville, 1-1 draw, something he hopes that could be the springboard for a positive result tonight. He'll be going up against a familiar foe, his former boss, Wake Forest head coach Tony DeLuce. And being familiar, he's very familiar with this place, Spry Stadium, Winston-Salem. He played for the men's soccer team during his time at Wake Forest. Ball over the top. Boston College doing a good job of seizing the opportunity to win second balls and really slow this game down. I think that suits their speed. It suits the players that they have right now. They want to keep this game more of a technical game. They're doing well to possess, play the way they face. When you're in possession, all it takes is one bad turnover, and it can cost you in transition moments. The idea was there is a switch from Emily Morris. Didn't find the intended target, Mina. And for the Demon Deacons, head coach Tony DeLuce in his 27th season, he recently broke a milestone of 300 wins in his tenure, which is incredible. And I remember Tony, during my time in Winston, he's done an incredible job to keep this program consistent. And just seeing him grow personally as a person and as a head coach. into Murphy and handball. Free kick coming up. Boston College, and it's Johnson to take it. All over the top. Intended for Eslin Strychek. Plays the ball in the box, but goes back off to the top of the box. Good tackle from Dempsey to spring. Murphy. She's got Dempsey to her right. She'll take it herself. Cuts one defender. She springs her in. Ball just a bit too heavy. Dempsey will keep it alive. Stowell. The ball coming in. Cross to the far post. Just misses the run of Swanson. Ball in again. It's Murphy. So close. Couldn't get the touch. Goal kick for Boston College. The first real chance we had in this game. Anna Swanson lobs the ball in. And the positioning of Emily Murphy. She takes good spots in the box. Boston College doing just enough to put out the fire. And those are the moments Wake Forest need to do more of, is when you get the ball wide. It's the first time you see them get in the box and get in Boston College's end and keep the play alive. They've had a couple decent looks in terms of springing that high line of Boston College, but once you get in there, you have to compose yourself and look to make the right decision. You can't always rush to goal. Sometimes it can give you a false sense of security that you break the line with a dribble or a pass. Good recovery from the Eagles. She have a throw in, but collects. The ball go back to Cahill. Keeps it swinging. Throw in coming up for the Demon Deacons. Johnson tries to find the feet of Morris. Goes back to Mike Wildebrandt. This early going, it's been back and forth. No real team putting their stamp on this game. Boston College had more of the possession, but they've also had more of the throw-ins. And this throw-in coming in their own end. Right on cue, another throw-in. Richards will get a touch. They really had a lot of service. The Eagles have gotten their own decent look. Strychek, who broke into the end line but couldn't find the run of Richards. Possession back to Wake Forest. Another turnover. Another sloppy pass in for Mina. There's a square pass at midfield. Misses the right foot of Mina. Mency on the ball. It's going to be a fun matchup to watch throughout this game. Mency versus Emily Murphy. The two captains will go toe-to-toe. The ball intended for Liv Stowell. Just overcooked in the hands of Wildebrandt. We have a look. Number 35, Emily Murphy, former Carolina player, and had a big moment of her own recently, last game out against UNC to score that goal. The England native from Windsor. She want to continue the hot streak she's been on. And Mency, the New York native, senior grad student, trying to put a nice little cap on her Boston College career. Hale with the clearance. BC throw. Richards with the ball, lays it back. Ellie Slensky, she's had a couple decent moments in possession, breaking lines, turning forward, always making herself available in the midfield. Any good partnership that could be brewing tonight between her and Laura Govin. Out comes Demon Deacons. BC putting pressure, forces the throw in. Zara Chavashi will go over the sidelines, take it for Wake. Excuse me, Zara Shiboshi. We have the ball back in play. Waiting for her teammate Mina to get her shoes tied, her laces tied. And MC Brown will get back to Peyton Cahill. Goes over to Johnson. Johnson finds Morris. Wants to take it up the line. Goes it to Swanson, but another loose pass for Wake Forest. They can't find the rhythm just yet. They had the one opportunity. Really the first sequence where we saw them make 3 or 4 or 5 passes to break BC's press and then get into the opposing end. They couldn't find the final touch from Emily Murphy. Turnover. Mina reads it well, plays a 1-2, gets the ball to Murphy. Murphy down to Swanson. Swanson takes a good touch to get in the box. And forces what looks to be a corner kick for Wake Forest.
Here comes a Wake Forest corner kick.
Demon Deacons will look to get numbers in the box. Keep an eye on the likes of Abby Colton.
Doing the honors for Wake Forest, number 24, Zara Chavashi.
Any loose balls that pop up, Murphy's shown that he's got a nose for goal, and Zara Shiboshi that'll take it. An in-swinger from the left side. Ball in and straight to the hands of Boston College. Boston College goalkeeper Ricky Weilebrand from Germany had a bit of a scare on the Emily Murphy chance, but really hasn't been tested. 6-foot senior. It's a collect from the corner kick and hits it out. All back for Wake Forest. Going towards their own goal. It's Morris will pay it back to Cahill. And Cahill will send it long. Back come the Eagles. Header down and it falls to Richards. Richards goes through one. She wants to get it. She can hit it with both feet. Plays it in. Ooh, good save from Peyton Cahill. And Cahill need to make that save. Wake Forest, they are broken down. The ball starts at midfield, and it falls to Boston College's danger player, Ella Richards. First time we've seen her get on the ball so strong. Just shakes off a couple defenders and has the composure to get it. But then the pass right there, even better save from Cahill. One of the strengths and one of the things she's done so well. Strybeck gets in, good first touch. Or Strycheck, excuse me. It's good goalkeeping from Cahill to come off her line to make herself big. Ball in the ensuing corner, and the ball goes in, and goal Boston College. And it looks to be Ella Richards may have gotten the touch. Is that Ella Slensky? Wake Forest looks to be shell-shocked right now. I think it is Richards. Number 22 gets another goal.
Boston College goal for number 22, Ella Richards.
And set pieces, Wake Forest getting it right last game out, and keep an eye on Richards. She screens Cahill there, and you need to get a body on her if you're Wake Forest. Nothing Cahill can do about it. Richards doing the right thing as a striker. You anticipate the ball that your teammate's going to win. It goes right through the 5-hole, gets just a knee on it, and Tony DeLuce rubbing his forehead, thinking, this is not the way I want senior night to start.
Well, Michael, first step is, can you hear me? Here on the broadcast. Second step is to congratulate you on a first goal call. That was wonderfully done, by the way. The play-by-play, I have to say, I was genuinely enjoying it while we were getting myself set back up. But if you don't mind, I will help you back out and let you break the game down. I want to thank everybody at Wake Forest for their patience, and we are at Spry Stadium at Winston-Salem. Arya Masudi, Michael LaHood, the former national champion, and wow, Boston College, a stunning start here in Winston-Salem. How about it? The goal there, a big one from Ella Richards. Who else would it have been? We talked about in the open that Richards would have to be big to spring the upset. She has come through yet again, her second goal in as many games. Now, Michael, look, it is still plenty of time, but Wake Forest now just kind of has to regroup and find themselves to build back into the match.
Yeah, it's been sloppy play from Wake Forest, and every time they have gotten in Boston College's end, it's almost as if they're trying to rush it a bit too much. And the one time that they have a decent look at goal, it's from keeping possession and making BC move from side to side. But for the Eagles, they've been the better side. And that goal, you can't say it wasn't coming. Second balls have been the difference in this half so far. They've been out-competing Wake Forest and getting the balls in white area. Strycek, she's had a couple of decent looks at goals. Those two combining, her and Richards, that's been the 1-2 punch so far early on in this game, halfway through this half.
What has impressed you most about this Boston College team in the early going?
Their willingness to play, their willingness to stay composed in possession. You would think that it was their senior night with how confident they've been on the ball and really just coming close. It's their spacing that's been the difference. They have good spacing, not everyone collapsing to be close to each other, and once they create a 2v1 in the overloads in midfield, everyone is looking to play the next pass to the next phase, which is getting the ball to their danger player, Ella Richards, and then playing off of her to get to the attack.
The Boston College team, again, by the way, first result of the season against Louisville over the weekend. That came at home, right? A Newton Mass on an artificial turf as well, but sometimes just getting on the score sheet, so to speak, finally striking the board for the season, that can be a confidence boost for a team that not a lot has gone Jason Lowe's way so far in 2023.
It's a big weight off the shoulders, and you have a lot of nearly moments, you have a lot of early moments, and the frustration of that, it builds up like a dam. But once you see that ball go in, especially for attacking players, an attacking group, once you see that ball go in and it's a goal for you, that sense of relief that comes, and then the expectation says, okay, now we can play. Now we can play the game that we love and play it the way we know how to.
And for Jason Lowe, now in his 5th season, a team that had a lot of optimism coming in, a team that got its first result, as we mentioned, in a season in which there haven't been much, and you see they've struggled to score goals. That has been the problem for the Eagles so far in ACC play.
It changes drastically when you're in non-conference play. The opponents, depending on strength of schedule, especially when you get those non-ACC games that come off the back of a result, and there you go. Small getting back in action. What a boost that she could be for Wake Forest.
No doubt the Canadian who missed 2022 with an injury. Matter of fact, playing with the Canadian national team in the preseason that year.
She's going to bring some acceleration, some quickness, and playing in the half spaces. If she can get turned forward, she has the ability to drop her shoulder and go by opposing defenders.
Junior top 5 in the ACC in assists, so setting her teammates up has been one of her specialties. Nominated for the best youth player in Canada, Nikki Small. Now we'll see Wake try and build out of the back. This has been a problem, though, for Wake Forest this season. That consistency at times. They want to possess, they want to play. They do make mistakes, which opposing teams have pounced on. A couple of weeks ago against Cuse, a 2-2 draw against a team you would say that on paper Wake Forest is better than. they struggled early going, much like this, as Boston College and Kenna Thomas into the attack.
I think the early struggle in a game like this is probably down to it's senior night. You're taking the gamble when you play all your seniors. If they're not used to playing, players not used to playing this 3-4-3 formation they came out with, but now order restored. You have Nicola Small right in there, right wing. Swanson will shift over to play left wing, and Emily Morris will go in as the number 10 attacking midfielder, and it'll be more of a 4-2-3-1.
Morris 13 there on your screen, her 31st career start. Took advantage of an opportunity last season to get more time and has become a mainstay in the 11 for Tony DeLuz. 1-1 against North Carolina last Friday at Spry. And the Eagles again in an attack, but we've talked about this with Coach. Michael, you've played on this field, right? You've been in this stadium. There are some special things that just happen, magical moments at Spry over the years.
There's nothing like those Spry nights, and I know that throughout ACC, some of the stadiums, obviously Dorrance Field for UNC, and what Anson Dorrance has done there is prolific and historic, but Spry, it's been amazing to see it become one of the venues to play in, and it's definitely something that still lives with me. No matter what level I played at, I always look back with a lot of fondness on those Spry nights. A lot of history being made on this field, both in the men's and women's game.
What's those numbers over the last 3 seasons as a foul called there on Emily Murphy. By the way, coming up next, the second match of our doubleheader. 3rd-ranked North Carolina hosting 12th-ranked Notre Dame at the aforementioned Dorrance Field at halftime. They're going to actually reveal the NCAA committee's top 16 seeds. It's exclusively here on ACC Network. I'm sure Jen and Lori are excited to bring that to you. What a big, big match between the Heels and the Irish. We talked about the teams just wanting to get in, Michael, right? The 6th spot it seems like 5 or 6 teams are jostling for, but there are some buys to be had. Top 2 seeds in the ACC championships. They don't have to play the first round, and there are still spots there for grabs. Carolina, Carolina, Notre Dame, both teams that very much still in play.
And for Notre Dame, they've lost to Florida State, which just about every team can say they've lost to Florida State, except for Carolina. But this is what you live for if you're an ACC soccer fan. You want to see it go the distance. And as we said in the open, the margin for error is so small, not just towards the middle of the table for that 6th spot, but from 1st to 5th, anything can happen, and anything will happen given that all these teams in those spots play each other to finish out.
What a ball. Thomas feeding it across. .5 minutes left to play in this first half. Ella Richards has given the Eagles the lead. Stunning this Demon Deacon crowd. It was her 7th goal of the season. Wake still looking for its first shot, Michael. An offense and an attack that has had so much success, especially throughout the last couple of weeks.
Before this game, talking to Tony DeLuz, that's one of the things he talked about in terms of a concern. He said to us, hey, it's easy when you see Carolina on the sheet and the schedule to get up for those games, but just because you have a good performance, just because you have a good showing against Carolina, you got to keep it up. It's the mentality. You can't just look at the standings. You can't just look at what Boston College has done throughout this ACC campaign and say, okay, they're just going to show up and let us score and give us chances. No. Boston College, they've had the right attitude, and that's been the difference so far in this half.
Their last win of the season was against Sacred Heart in early September, a 3-2 result for Jason Lowe's side. Haven't won a game, Michael, since October 8th of 2022 in the ACC. That's spanning 12 matches.
It is a long time, but it's always about what have you done recently, and if they continue this, and now here comes Wake Forest, where you're down 1-0, and you haven't had your best half, and a disappointing half so far, and it's been things like this where passes just a couple inches to the wrong side of players that make you go back to goal and stunt your attack. These are the moments now where you need to possess the ball and get the ball, get more players in the Boston College half. Too many players. There's 5 players behind the ball for Wake Forest, and that makes it easy for Boston College. 1 or 2 players take you out of the game, and now you have to go back and break the entire team down.
How about this ball? Running on and through, coming out, and making a great save was Vivka Villebrandt.
Good goalkeeping. Villebrandt, very courageous to do that because she gets that wrong, then it's a sure goal and really one to be walked in for Wake Forest.
Christine Johnson on the touch. Into space, Swanson, who has really emerged for Wake Forest here this season. Can we look at it again?
Ball's over the top. It's Mina coming in, using her pace to go in, but keep an eye on Villebrandt. She can't use her hands once she steps out there, so she can only use her feet. The rules change as a goalkeeper once you leave the box. Those number of shots, 99 faced on the season.
Yeah, coming into the match, 221 saves in her career in Chestnut Hill, and she has been a stalwart, has started every game that she has played for 3 seasons. One of the familiar faces in the ACC in that net. But we saw that run. You mentioned it coming from Mina, Michael, and that's something that if BC's going to play a higher line and try and catch you offside, you're going to need your midfielders to make some of those deeper runs and get into that space.
And you're going to need the right sort of service. When you hit that, it's almost like sitting in the sandbox when you're playing golf. You have to use your pitching wedge. You can't hit your driver or any of your irons. Leave those at home. Leave them in the dorms in Winston-Salem. Don't bring them here to this field, because if you get the nice sort of loft on it, that gives Mina just that half a yard, those half of yards that she needs. She has the speed to get underneath it, and then she has time to compose herself around the goalkeeper.
Number 20, Carly Wilson. Into the game for Boston College, number 6.
Checking into the matches, Swanson will take a seat, as does Abby Colton. There's Carly Wilson, now appearing in her 28th game for the Demon Deacons. Had a goal earlier this season against Purdue. There's Ava McNeil as well coming in for BC. Consistency the key for Wake Forest this season. Tony DeLuce said it's easy to get up for North Carolina. Who would have trouble playing the Tar Heels at home, playing at Spry? It's dropping points to Cuse. It's dropping points to NC State earlier this season, to Army, that has put them in this position of being in the bubble, not just for the ACC tournament, right? Not for the ACC championship, but for the NCAA tournament as a whole. And so right now their RPI in the 60s for Wake, trying to figure out how to finish strong, but that opportunity is there.
As I said about mentality, it's the focus factor in those games, and those points dropped. It's one thing when you're at home, and look at that home record, 4-0-3, incredible, but if you just get 3 points out of one of those games, that changes the whole landscape, and it allows you to breathe a little bit more, not just in your postseason aspirations for the tournament, but you breathe knowing that you have just a lot more distance between you and the rest of the competition.
Wake Forest got down to Cuse 2-0 early a couple of weeks back. They come back to get the draw 2-2, but this is what it has put them in, right? This is the position battling with 7 teams who all have realistic chances of getting that final seed for the ACC championship.
And for Virginia Tech, for Louisville, I mean, the positive news, I said before, for Wake Forest, you play one of those teams to close out.
Now Small, crossbar. Almost the moment on the equalizer. Now Murphy, goal scorer against Carolina. Flag one up.
That's more like it from the Demon Deacons, and Smalls come in, injected a bit of pace into this. She tried to go for the pass before, but I like this. She cuts in, and goes right back. And why not have a shot from distance? Boston College, good technique there. Look how many defenders are back screening the ball. It's the first real test, and the ball dips. It's good technique. Gets her body over the shot. That's why the ball dips just over, but hits the bar and back out.
You got to think if she had one more yard, that ball would dip just enough to give her her first goal of the season and would have leveled this game back out. Game of margins and inches. Momentum building, though, Michael, here for the Deeks. Starting to feel pretty good about themselves in possession. Morris turning on her left. A trio of white surrounds her and clears it out.
Positive feelings have come from the play of Small. She draws 3 players from Boston College over to her, and that creates a massive gap at the top of the box. Look for more of that from her. After hitting it off the bar, and what a shot that was, you gain the respect and you gain the attention of your opponent. That's going to create more spaces for her teammates if she chooses to pass next time out.
Nino on the touch. Flag stayed down, Small service towards that spot. Boston College had to do well and did. And throw-in now coming for BC. What a Week 8 ACC Network football lineup we have for you that starts Saturday at noon with Georgia Tech hosting these very Boston College Eagles. Then it's Pitt in Winston-Salem to take on Wake Forest, and then capping the day with Clemson and Miami at Hard Rock. That's at 8 o'clock. All 3 games are also available on the ESPN app. Finding some space. That final ball not going to get it done. There's Cahill there.
That was Sophia Lohenberg, who just came in for Boston College. She'll have more of that box-to-box presence. She can cover a ton of ground when given time and space. And watched a bit of her throughout the season. And if you give her time and space around the box, she boasts a pretty powerful shot from distance.
Lohenberg, sophomore from Turnbull, Connecticut. A couple of goals on the year. A little over 8 minutes to play. BC leads on the road. They led against Louisville. In the end, though, the Cardinals found the equalizer with 7 minutes left to go in the match, ending a 1-1 draw. A positive overall performance for Jason Lowe, but could have been even more. Is this the game as the season winds down, where the Eagles, the work they've put in all year, comes to fruition? It would sting Wake Forest, no doubt, if they can't find a way back. They've been a team of resilience, though, this season, having come back from multiple goals down in a couple of different occasions. And again, a Wake Forest team that Tony DeLuce told us, I would say we've slightly underachieved based on what I thought this team would be. Now, if we finish strong, then I think we're right where we're supposed to be. But to this point, there's the whistle and a foul as Murphy's clipped.
Emily Murphy, first time we've called her name in a short while. I know she had a couple of decent looks in terms of passes from Small out wide. The Voucher, I'd be a frustrated figure. You've only had one credible service, and that came from Swanson about 10 minutes into this game. But since then, Boston College have done a good job of every time she drops to get the ball, any time that she's looking to make any of those slashing runs off the shoulder of defenders, there's always 2 players that go minimum that follow her movement. She's going to have maybe Morris play closer to her to kind of give her more support.
Going for goal on net. Villabrandt was ready.
The set piece comes in. Ball slided there, but Villabrandt, that's an easy takings for her. Roshi that fights it in, but you take that every day for a goalkeeper.
Would you have preferred to see Shivoshi play that to one of her teammates and try and put that on the 6-yard box?
Yeah, I always prefer that. The angle's running against you when you're taking it from there, especially in an in-swinger. If you're going to go to goal, definitely go for it. But in-swinger there, maybe get a left-footed player instead to make it an out-swinger and test the back line because they're dropping and having to drop deep.
Unless you're Leo Messi, right? Then just go for it. We allow it.
Yeah. Hey, you stand on your toes if it's Leo Messi. Well, even if he's in the stands, you stand on your toes. You never know.
No kidding. There's a corner coming for Boston College. A continued positive half for these Eagles. Jason Lowe has to be thrilled with the way his team is playing in this opening stanza. Out-swinging ball towards the 6. It's loose in the box. Segala gets a foot on it. Cleared off the line, off the shoulder of Malika Mina. But now into the break, Wake. McKenna Thomas just got a foot to it to ruin the transition opportunity.
Decent look from Wake Forest. Those moments have happened way too often. It's getting the first pass correct, but then the second pass, the ball breaks down. We've played just about 40 minutes. Maybe some of the players out there that started the game, you start getting tired legs. That's lack of focus there.
Brown. Small into the box. Pretty good here from Wake. The shot is saved from Villabrandt.
Much better from Wake. It's Small again, threatening down the right against Boston College. They don't seem to have an answer for her. Her spacing, her ability to keep the width creates a passing lane for Dempsey Brown to find her. Dempsey Brown doing an excellent job. This is a defensive midfielder who's supposed to start the day further back, but she's driving the team forward and Small. The angle's working against her there. She tries to go for goal and makes you wonder if Dempsey Brown was the better option. Maybe a cutback pass to the penalty spot. She's already hit the bar, so why not try your luck? But I think she makes the wrong decision there to go for goal.
That pass from Brown, who is by nature a 6, has had to play on that back line when Zara Shafoji went down earlier this season with a hamstring pull.
You know the game for Boston College, number 23, Maddie Landers.
She looks like she hasn't missed much time at defensive midfield. It looks like a natural fit, and that versatility is something you want as a head coach, especially from a young player like her, looking like one of the elder players in the team.
Tony DeLue's just calling her dependable in her rookie campaign. Every time we've needed her, she's been there for us. She's always has an answer. Now she gets to play in her more natural position in this 3-4-3. But Wake needs a goal. And they need to find a way to get back into this because that confidence will just continue to grow for Boston College as the match goes along.
With all the possession Boston College has had, all it takes is for one errant pass like this, and then your team is stretched. Wake Forest, they're keeping all 4 attackers high. It's looking more like a 4-2-4. 2 defensive midfielders, Brown being one of them, sitting. One will pop forward, but all 4 attackers high, looking for that ball over the top. If you're Boston College, you got to be smart in possession. You can't just lump it forward because you're expansive, and then down come Wake Forest.
These 2 teams played to a 1-1 draw last season in Newton. There's Hannah Johnson finding the late equalizer. A Wake program that hasn't lost to BC since 2017. Find themselves down here. Nikki Small on the turn. Great close down defending from Boston College. Nothing in transition, no runners, no support. And so it just releases the pressure for the time being.
It's the first time we've seen Boston College get it right when defending Small. And as soon as she puts her head down and drops her shoulder, 3 defenders sandwich her and snuff out that space. And that's where, as a winger, you have to mix up your game. Once you go 1v1, you go 1v1, you do it 3 or 4 times, then you go to plan B. And for Small, she's shown plan B when she found Morris at the top of the box. If you know that players are going to collapse that space that you want to attack, be patient, be smart, be cunning, and wait for them to move towards you. Then you can find just that entry pass to Morris at the top of the box.
That pass just misses the mark. You see Nikki Small there on the near side of your screen, number 4. Sydney Segala, number 9 for Boston College. A top 100 recruit coming out of high school.
1 minute remaining in the
Sister
first
plays
half.
for West Virginia. Lauren Segala. Also a member of the BC track team. Small with track speed to burn herself. Still Small, back into her bag, onto the right, mixes it up. Villebrandt there to make the save, but Michael, that's what you wanted to see, right? Change it up a little bit on the wing.
Yeah, she's gone right quite a few times, and learning from the last time she got dispossessed to check and create that space. You know that you have your defender beat once you get that half yard of space, and I think we've seen her shoot a couple of times, but I think that's where she's going to be most effective, is beating the first defender and looking to go for service rather than shots from those difficult angles from wide areas.
10, 9, 8.
Final few seconds ticking off the clock here. Boston College going to feel great about themselves after this first half. Michael, thoughts on this opening stanza?
At the end of the first
Good half from the Eagles. They got their talents.
And how does that compare to what you want to see the Deacons do to try and find their way back into it?
I think he's spot on, especially with Nikki Small. Once she's come in, she's really added a sense of calm. She's added a sense of confidence to this attack. But it's the decision-making in the final third that needs to improve, because the shot that she had that hit the bar was one thing, but some of the decisions to cross when the pass is on or to pass when the shot is on, just fine-tune that and you'll get your goal.
The Wake Forest team averaging north of 17 shots per game so far this season, and just 3 in that first half. Another great note from Dan Ferran, our talent stats. This is the 7th match this season in which Wake has yielded the first goal. They have yet to win in those previous 6. Pretty good ball in. That's Murphy. It looks like a corner that they are setting up for. Murphy going to have to be the catalyst here for Wake Forest. She scores that big second half goal against Carolina, but Michael, positive from Wake in the first touch.
Much different look from the Demon Deacons, and it's getting service from deeper. Boston College looked to be set, but there was a massive gap that opened up for Murphy to run through. Look for more service into her.
Zara Shamoshi will do the honors. The junior from Potomac, Maryland. A player with a lot of versatility. Has played center back, has played at the 6 and center defensive mid. Playing right back here for Wake as of late. Deacons looking for an equalizer. Low line drive towards that penalty spot. Not going to find a player in pink. A last touch, though, by Boston College. Throw-in coming for the Deeks.
Good job from Swanson to keep that play alive. Boston College thought they were out of pressure and out of danger, but both 2 Demon Deacon players showing the intensity and the urgency that you want to see more of in the second half.
Gobin releases the pressure, though, right back to Wake. Hansbrough. The junior from Cary, North Carolina. Can she find these Wake Forest Demon Deacons back in her hometown, potentially playing in an ACC championship semifinal? Christine Johnson on the throw. I asked you about Wake. What do you want to see from Boston College? How do they continue that good momentum from the first half?
For BC, it's not sitting back and just defending, absorbing pressure. Wake Forest, they do have enough quality in the final third. If you give them time and space, they will punish you. This is where they've really done much better in the first half. It was when to possess the ball. I thought they did a good job in the first 25 minutes of just keeping Wake Forest moving and possessing it. If you don't have the ball, you can't score goals unless your opponent turns around and whacks it in their own goal. But I hope that doesn't happen for either team because that would be disastrous.
So Wake Forest team that fouled themselves down 2 goals at halftime to Syracuse just a couple of matches ago. Back on October 5th, and they did dominate the second half. It culminated in a draw 2-2. A night that Tony DeLuz felt like his team should have won, needing to be ruthless in that attacking third. That's what they do here tonight. And Boston College, who again, they've been playing better as of late. Right, we see it all the time in the NWSL and the MLS and the Premier League. Yes, maybe for the overall picture of the season for some of these clubs, you don't have quite the shot of having those big picture things, but you have a chance to play spoiler, and teams get better. They do evolve over the course of a season. Flag did stay down coming in, though. Villabrandt read it well.
Intended pass for Carly Wilson. Those runs from midfield, well-timed run from Wilson. Villabrandt, she's done that so well throughout this game in the first half. Being brave, being assertive, coming off her line, using her frame. It's really important for the Eagles.
Just 2 shots total for Boston College, both coming early. One coming on that goal from Richards in the 20th minute. They haven't registered a shot since. Perhaps the surprise is Wake Forest's attack. Can they get going here in the second half? Took a deflection. Shot on goal. Just missed the near post. It was Wilson. She had Villabrandt beat.
It's a good job from Wake Forest. Look at how many numbers are in there. 3 players, all making different runs. And Wilson, she opts for near post, thought the far post was begging. There she goes and just hooks it, gets her angles fractions wrong. She'll want that one back because that was a golden opportunity to make it 1-1.
Wilson in her 9th game of the season. Brown, nice touch to the wing. Swanson on her left foot, near post, sliding and it found the net. The home equalizer is there. It was Anna Swanson. Villabrandt thought she was in safe. Indeed, she was not.
This is just the sort of break you need sometimes when you're knocking at the door, the game hasn't gone your way. And Swanson, she played left wing to start the game, getting it on her left foot, and that's down to the run of Emily Murphy. Keep an eye on Murphy. She makes that run and freezes the entire BC back line, throws Villabrandt off. Murphy at the near post. They always tell you, as a striker, make the near post run because it takes defenders with you, and just that half a yard of freezing the opponent. Look at that, Villabrandt. It's almost happening in slow-mo if you're a goalkeeper, and not the prettiest of goal, but it doesn't have to be pretty if you're Wake Forest. It just has to go in.
The junior from Santa Fe, New Mexico, Anna Swanson's 3rd goal of the year. Tony DeLuz said, we have somebody emerge every season. And this year it's been Anna Swanson. She just kept pushing and pushing. She gave us no choice but to start her. And to see her kind of emerge at the end of the year has been phenomenal. Going to be a key, right, for Wake Forest as the season concludes and you move into postseason, hopefully, if you're the Deeks and Tony DeLuz.
A good thing for this Wake Forest squad is the versatility. How many players do we talk about can play defensive midfield, center back, right back? For her, she can play anywhere in wide areas. Started on the left, has shifted over to the right where a lot of good things were happening because Nikki Small, her pace, her movement is really pushing Boston College back. And that's going to create a lot of 1v1 opportunities for her to drive and get it on that good left foot of hers. She made the right decision of just getting it, putting it in the mixer, hitting it low, and it forces the goal.
Swanson's goal coming from a player who was dominant in high school and putting the ball in the back of the net. And Michael, to do it early in the second half, right? You have all this time now with the game. It feels like almost like it's a brand new game.
It's capitalizing on the momentum that you finished the first half with. And coming out of the locker room, you can have one of two options: put your head down or come out the aggressors, and Wake Forest has done just that.
Riding that momentum, one in the net. Swanson had a chance to shoot. Instead, the cross towards that 6. Now the penalty spot. Left-footed strike blocked. Now you can see BC wobbling just a little bit. That service. How good is that ball? Oh, a couple of deeks ran into each other.
Emily Murphy and Alex Wood. Wood's impressed since coming on, giving valuable minutes, and she's making smart runs in the box. She stays wide, and Wilson stays wide, allows the interchange, but that's where you need to call off your teammate on that. You know you see more of the play. You know your teammate's in your way. Just give Murphy a shot. Say, hey, my ball. I got that. She'll get an easy header in on goal.
A throw-in coming now for Wake Forest. Do want to remind you that Saturday morning the ACC Huddle Crew kicks off the day at 11 Eastern because Georgia Tech will be hosting Boston College at noon. And then also there's halftime shows, pre- and post-game shows throughout the day. 6:30, they wrap up the afternoon with highlights and analysis as Clemson and Miami get set to play. And then stay right here for complete wrap-up and interviews on ACC Network. This shot, Villabrandt had it covered on her near post. So much to play for, especially if you're Wake Forest. Currently has the last spot in the ACC championships. 6 teams make it in. That's a little bit different than most conferences. It puts more value on that conference tournament and the championships this year. And that road to Cary, where the top 2 seeds get byes. And it is a log jam for that 6th spot right now. Wake Forest holding on by the skin of their teeth, Michael.
Yeah, it's so important to get this result here and get back in this game here and go push for those 3 points, because you play the 2 teams that are just below you coming up to finish the season. You don't want to have those must-win games, especially given that one of those is on the road. You don't want to go on the road and have your season hanging in the balance.
Nikki Small's strike drifts wide of the mark. Villabrandt had it covered, and you mentioned it perfectly, I think. It's that draws don't help you at this time in the year, right? You leave it up to chance when you don't find a way to get 3 points. But if you look at Wake's schedule, Louisville at home later this week, I said in the weekend, and then next week at Miami, 2 teams that on paper, points are there to be won. It's there to have 9 total points when you finish with BC, Louisville, and Miami, but you got to get that job done.
And those teams, they'll be keeping one eye on this game because game's going on tonight. If they see any crack in the armor, they will go for it. On the converse for Wake, you get this result, you get 3 points here, you'll be just walking out with just your head held high and all the confidence in the world to finish the job.
Big result from Wake Forest last week against North Carolina. Able to find the late equalizer from Emily Murphy. But can Dempsey Brown will this team here in the second half? They need 3 points. Tony DeLuz monitoring on Murphy. Back to the defender, turns. It's blocked. Kenna Thomas sends it away, but right back to Brown. Brown does well to create that space. Service towards the penalty spot. Headed away. Now Malaika Mina, the English international.
Whatever said,
Christine Johnson.
Whatever said at the halftime team talk is clearly working. And when we spoke to Tony DeLuz coming out of the locker room, there was a sense of calm. And you have an opportunity, and we talked to him ahead of this game and asking him, what has he learned during his extensive tenure in Winston-Salem? He said, hey, you stay calm. It's never as bad as it might feel or look. It's never as good as it might feel or look. It's about being even keel no matter what the situation is. And as a player, no matter what your class is, no matter if you're a freshman or a senior, you look to the sidelines when there's uncertainty, and you want to see your manager, you want to see your head coach instilling that calm and stability because it translates to the field.
27 years at Wake Forest. Hit that 300th win. Just a legend in the game. And Michael, you played at Wake Forest on the men's side. You've had many run-ins with Tony DeLuz. That is a guy that is well respected.
Respected both in the men's and women's game. I can't tell you the amount of times that I was in his office asking for advice, breaking down the game, and his ability to just relate to players. No matter what you're going through, no matter if you're at the top of your game or you're having struggles on and off the field, he just knows how to talk to people. He's a good human being first, and then a really good coach second.
Made the College Cup back in 2011. 21 NCAA tournaments for Tony DeLuz, who, by the way, Jason Lowe learned a lot from, an associate head coach for DeLuz and this Wake Forest program, especially for a couple of seasons as an assistant. Jason Lowe in the past has said so much about what he learned from Tony DeLuz and eventually being able to run his own program.
For both these coaches, there's going to be a lot of shared sentiment once the final whistle blows. But during this time and during these 30 minutes, and look at this list. Wow. It's an incredible number of coaches.
Tim Santoro at NC State, Michael. Chugger Adair, who's not on that list, who coaches Virginia Tech, played at San Diego under Tony DeLuz when he was a men's soccer coach. I mean, it's amazing to see just the pillars that come from one man. And it's happened all over this beautiful game, but Tony DeLuz having that opportunity earlier this season to have that milestone victory for him and his family had to mean so much for a guy that has poured his heart and soul into this program.
In college soccer, especially in the women's game, you just think of the icons. When you think of ACC soccer, the first name that comes out is Anson Dorrance. But with that 300th win, you push Tony DeLuz into that upper echelon of coaches that have seen it all and come close to doing it all. Just think of the players that have transitioned from college soccer to the NWSL and the next level. And it's one of those proud moments that I personally have, and knowing his son and playing with his son, Austin DeLuz, know how much it means to their entire family.
Eddie Small wins the throw-in. He did say that you need to make a trip back to Winston to see the entire family.
Yeah, I'm long overdue, and that's coming.
See if a second goal is coming here for Wake Forest in the second half. They found the equalizer thanks to Anna Swanson and some help from the post. Now looking for that second to take the lead. Throw in coming again.
Wake doing an excellent job of getting numbers in the box. Emily Murphy making those runs and drawing players with her, but now they're really smelling blood in the water. Now they're really starting to gamble and get numbers in. Murphy getting to the end line, and she picks her head up. She has options now in the first half. She would make those runs, either get the ball or not, or Small would get the ball, and there'd maybe be 2 or 3 players. You want to score goals, you got to get numbers in the box.
Nikki Small put her fingerprints on that entire first half for Wake Forest. Who do you think in this second half for the Deacons has to find a way to step forward and kind of will this team on their back?
It's going to be not just Emily Murphy. I think Carly Wilson, she's had 2 decent looks from midfield, making those late runs. I think the difference between this half and the first half was Emily Morris. She was dropping a bit deeper, wanted to get possession. But with Boston College, because they play that high line, you have to have midfield runners. And Wilson's done an excellent job of timing those runs out of midfield and making it through the gaps, because their gaps are there for BC. The 2 center backs can get stretched because Small, they have to keep an eye on her, and Murphy, they have to keep an eye on her. So that's going to create spaces for Wilson to be that player to jet through.
It's been all Wake Forest since that opening goal from Boston College. Ella Richards stunned the black and gold faithful. But right now, the Deacons They have worked their way back into it. They have built positive momentum. They found the equalizer at their level. Now they need 3 points, which means more goals have to be on the way. On that right wing, really good run out of the midfield from Swanson. Body, foul, whistle called. Do we have a booking coming as well? Clock has been stopped. Indeed we do. A yellow.
There has to be a yellow card on Claire Mency. She knows she's beat for pace, and that's good underlap from Anna Swanson. Swanson's come to life on this right side, and right there, that extra touch, getting there first.
A yellow card.
Undersized player, get there first. The referee's always going to give you the foul going up against the bigger and taller, the more physical Mency.
Mency, the captain for this Boston College side. Graduate senior from Katona, New York. Transferred from Bucknell after being an All-Patriot League, All-Conference member. He has been very important to this Eagles program and Jason Lowe. But this is dangerous from Zara Shafoshi. Wake decked in pink here tonight, raising awareness for breast cancer. That ball squeezes through. Wilson. Still loose. Still Wake. Final shot blocked. Rebound attempt. Lefty shot. Villabrandt. Right into the breadbasket. Positioned well.
Excellent job from the Demon Deacons, keeping the play alive, winning those duels, and it's Alex Wood. She's getting decent minutes here in the second half and kind of stops and starts again. But Boston College getting too many bodies in the line of fire and doing the right thing to block. Off a set piece. It was a matter of who was going to get the cleanest strike off. It's not the first one, and Wood right there, because she takes the aggressive first touch forward, it creates a shooting line for her to hit it. Yet again, another shot into the arms.
Now a corner coming here for Wake, who out shooting BC 7-0 here in the second half. Boston College had the first two shots. Wake has had the last 10. Shoe tied, ready to rock. From that right flag. 25 and a half to play. Not a bad ball. Swanson was gearing up and winding up to fire. And could not.
Would have been an acrobatic finish if she got her foot to it. It's Slensky that gets the last touch on it and got it right in the end.
By the way, tomorrow's ACCPM with Mark Packer and Taylor from Coral Gables is the prep for college football Saturday, highlighted by Clemson in Miami. Starts at 4 Eastern. That game right here on ACC Network. Saturday night at 8 o'clock. The Canes started off strong in football this season. It has kind of dwindled away. Maybe a changing of the guard at the top, too, for football, as Clemson has fallen a couple of times this season. Florida State, North Carolina might be the cream of the crop there. in the football side of things. We'll see. Louisville still has something to say. Duke, I know Duke fans watching will go, hey, what about us?
I sense or see a nice little smirk every time you say Florida State.
I can't confirm or deny anything.
Brilliant. It's been a fun season to watch so far.
There's a foul. All right, so now for Boston College. Haven't seen many chances since the early part of that first half.
Suncy getting up, and those arms right there pushing the back from Carly Williams. And sometimes as a younger player, a smaller player, you can get baited into thinking you have to push to get the advantage, but it's a cheap foul to give away, and it sets up a free kick and a decent look for Boston College, who really haven't threatened much in the second half or gotten any possession in Wake Forest end.
Oftentimes for underdogs, this could be kind of a leveler of sorts. On frame, low. Nice save there. Cahill had it covered.
It's a routine save from Cahill. She guesses the flight, she guesses the angle from the ensuing free kick, and because her momentum's already pushing her that way, she's there to make the easy save. BC with the free kick and aiming for that far post and trying to get a bit of whip on it, but the momentum, the anticipation from Peyton Cahill makes a routine save, and she gets her legs behind it as well to not spill up a rebound.
Isaac, the Canadian from Vancouver, started her career at Bama, played in the College Cup back in 2022 with the Crimson Tide. It was this season for BC. Not a bad ball. Oh, final touch there from Murphy.
It's just missing that final ingredient there. Early service, excellent ball in from Kristen Johnson, but that first bounce right in front of her, it's difficult if you're trying to catch it with your right boot, and maybe if her legs could extend like a slinky to get to that ball, but a couple inches more, maybe a couple yards more if she was in advance of it. You got him the touch closer to goal.
We talked about her history with North Carolina, starting her career there, coming over from the pond in the United Kingdom. 10 goals in 10 games. It started off slow this season for Wake, but she has come to life, and getting that goal against her former team had to feel so special.
Given we live in a transfer portal era and players switch for different reasons, switch schools, you know it was something that she just was circling on the calendar throughout this season. When are we going to play UNC? When are we going to play Carolina? And there's no better way to announce yourself to your former team than to get a goal. And to get a goal in the way she did, the power, the accuracy, the quick release that she had on that goal is impressive.
Hansborough had a go at it. Why not? Villabranto off the line to make the grab. A little bit north of 20 minutes to play from Spry. Wake Forest undefeated on the year at home. However, up and down season so far. Alongside former Deacon national champion Michael Lahuda, Maria Masudi. Our entire ACC network crew here on this Thursday night, a doubleheader coming your way, as Ella Richards and Anna Swanson have created quite the appetizer for Carolina and Notre Dame coming up right after us. A lot to be played for. The Ally ACC Women's Championship coming up at the end of the month. Only 6 teams make it in. Wake Forest right now has that final 6th seed.
It's so important to get these points and take maximum points whenever they're available, especially at home. And Demon Deacons have been very good at home, getting goals, getting results. Now it's about the mentality. Now it's about showing that winning pedigree and to turn it on. This is the time of season that you want to really be hitting on all cylinders. And you're going to have a lot of opposition. You're going to have a lot of frustrating moments that come in waves and come in small spurts. But to respond the way they have, coming out at halftime is one step in the right direction. To go and get the second goal will be another mountain climbed. And Emily Morris there, that's a frustration foul. Can't be doing that. Slemski's been good this game, and she's had a couple tackles, read the game well, and those 50-50 duels that she won in the first half are showing a lot of frustration and needless yellow card.
19th yellow of the season for Wake Forest as a whole. Boston College got one earlier. That was only their 9th of the year. Every game magnified. After this one, just 2 regular season matches left. Throw incoming for Boston College. The Eagles, they finished the year at Virginia and at home versus North Carolina. That's a desperate Virginia group and a North Carolina team who, depending on what happens tonight, could still be jostling for that ACC regular season championship. At least they'll be battling for a bye, one of those first 2 seeds. Boston College got its first results in ACC play of the season against Louisville over the weekend. Hard-fought 1-1 draw. It was Ella Richards who had the goal. Had it again here tonight following that momentum. Wake has found the equalizer. They have evened things back up and looking for a second. Time running out.
In that game against Louisville, it's Richards and Strychek that combined for the goal, and those two were threatening quite a bit in the first half. Strychek had a golden opportunity that Peyton Cahill pawed away. Much quieter in this second half. Haven't said Ella Richards' name much at all. For Boston College, you're absorbing a lot of pressure, and that's going to weigh on you as a defender. Your legs are going to get tired at some point, and gaps are going to start opening up. You're going to have to get numbers, and you have to get bodies higher up the field and start getting possession. For Wake Forest, keep doing the same thing. Keep wearing Boston College down, and the tenacity's there. It'll pay off eventually.
Does the amount of space shrink as this game goes along and Boston College drops deeper and deeper?
It's going to create more space in front of that back 4, back 5, back 6, as we've seen as Boston College has kind of gone into this bunker shell. And Nikki Small, she's playing in this 4-1-4-1. Tony DeLuce has shifted formations to try and get his best players out there. But Nikki Small operating just under Emily Murphy, that is a player to watch. Because if a ball pops to her at the top of the box, she's already hit the crossbar. She's already shown that she's not afraid to shoot from distance. That is your moment that could really be the difference there. Shots from distance when a team is dropping off, flooding the box, be there for the taking.
Fascinating to see how these 15 minutes and change play out. Again, Wake Forest holding on to that final spot in the ACC championship. They have the 6th seed, but by the very skin of their teeth, with Virginia Tech and a slew of others trying to chase them from behind and hoping for a slip-up. That's the thing right now. So many eyes on this game. Trying to hope and see if Wake Forest opens up a chance for everyone else. Chavoshi. Edge of the 18-hole whiff. Did that catch a cleat, though? It did indeed. It will be a corner coming for Wake Forest. It'll be their 4th of the night.
Wake Forest, corner kick.
Those are the little inches that become big yards. If you're Wake Forest, I like this from Chavoshi. getting to the corner flag and taking this set piece. You want to not be fully hurried, but you want to show urgency with 15 minutes left.
From that right flag, line drive. And this is everybody, but chasing it down Swanson. She's got it on the left wing. Direct right back into the box. Villabrandt, though, has a beat on it. Minutes to play here from Sprite. There's a whistle and a foul. Umenzi, the captain. Latter stages of this second half between Wake and Boston College. Direct ball in. McNeil on that left wing, edge of the 18. Shot attempt. Ooh, whistles over. Not a bad shot. Very good effort there from Laura Govan, and almost had a shocking moment for the Eagles.
And McNeil does a good job to keep it alive. And Govan, set pieces, that is your way. If you're Boston College, you can get back in this game to get in the driver's seat. Over that ball dips. Knuckles goes on the wrong side of the post.
Tony DeLuz has talked about the theme of this season for Wake Forest. They have found ways to play up to their competition and have found ways to drop points against teams that they feel like they should have a full 3 against. 12 and a half minutes to decide which side of the line tonight will fall.
Not can be forgotten about the first 20 minutes of that first half. You get this go-ahead goal. So much pressure being put on Boston College, coming in wave after wave. But now you're starting to see a couple errant passes from Wake Forest, trying to play and thread the needle. Jason Lowe, this is where you want that clock to move as fast as possible. But for Tony DeLuz, you want added time, almost the clock to slow down, as you really come out swinging in the second half.
A few years back at this point, you would just start sending it to Abby Wambach for the U.S. women's national team, right? They would just be lofts into the box, find her head. We haven't quite reached that moment yet here in this game. Still 11 and a half to play. The desperation will start to be creeping in here in a couple of moments.
And therein lies the gamble if you're a coach. When do you start playing direct versus when do you stick with your principles? For Wake Forest and Tony DeLuz, that's going to be the biggest gamble of all, because they want to possess, they want to play intricate, they want to really get the ball to midfield by breaking lines, and they've shown a more directness once they get to midfield to keep 4 players high and then play that killer pass. But at what point do you lob it in to the flanks, because you have faster wingers than Boston College do, fullbacks?
Well, he gave us a checklist of things he wanted to see in this matchup for Wake Forest. He wanted his midfield to dominate. He wanted to make Boston College chase the game. And then he said we need to finish chances. Those 3 things, how do you feel like they've executed?
Overall, 2 out of those 3, much better. It's the finished chances. They got 1. They just got to get 1 more. They've had their chances. They've had their looks in the second half. But it's being efficient in front of goal. I don't know any coach who wouldn't want efficiency over just total shots for the sake of it.
No doubt, against Carolina, Wake did just such a good job of being able to win that midfield. They won the overall possession battle 52-48 and really allowed their team to be successful and not let Carolina feel comfortable at any moment. See if they can do that again here in the final 10 minutes. They've done it in spurts, as Michael said. But again, you got to find 1 more goal. The name of the game is the back of the net needs to be Ripley.
It's going to come from quality service from wide areas. BC flooding the box,
defending for their lives at different time. They have a goalkeeper who's been solid throughout this match in Wildebrandt. It's going to take something a bit special, beating your player, beating your defender, 1v1, getting to the end line, and maybe not playing some of those in-swinging crosses from wide areas, getting in the end line like we saw Nikki Small do in the first half, changing the angle, early services as well, trouble back lines, but really being definitive once you get into the final third of whipping in dangerous crosses.
Low and hard to find teammates.
Johnson. Now Sherboshi. Pass intercepted. Transition now for Boston College. A couple of runners in white coming too. Into space. Tuffin serves it in. Cahill had to do well. She did.
For a split second, Boston College, they had that small window in what looked like it could have been a dangerous counterattack. And on the other end, the ball from Tuffin glided in, hung up there. Just the rearranging of her feet from Peyton Cahill. That's what allows her to just collect that comfortably.
Big tackle from Segala.
She's laid a few tonight. Now switching over to the left fullback position. Spent a lot of time at playing right fullback.
Costello. Menzie drops it back, Wildebrandt. Swanson had a beat on it, couldn't get to it. Flipped the underneath portion of her boot. It's a throw-in for BC. They're not going to be in any hurry.
Well, why would you be if you're Boston College? You know the pressure is squarely on Wake Forest. You know how much they need the result. And every second that bleeds off this clock, it's just another possibility of big points dropped. But for Wake Forest, getting the ball back, getting the ball on the ground. When we get back to play, it looks like there might be a talking to from the referee, maybe card.
I want to remind you that coming up next, the second match of our doubleheader. Third-ranked North Carolina hosting 12th-ranked Notre Dame at Dorrance Field. So much on the line there from Chapel Hill. And then at halftime, make sure you stick with us because they exclusively will reveal the NCAA committee's top 16 for the 2023 NCAA championships. It should be a lot of fun. Jen Hildreth, Lori Lindsay standing by from Dorrance. A little bit north of 7 minutes to go here. We have stopped play. Told they are checking on how much time should be left as it was ticking down when a yellow card was given. Sounds like they're putting some of it back on.
If they do so, those added seconds
A yellow card has been assessed on Boston
make
College.
all the difference for Wake Forest.
It is Segala who gets the card, and it's for time wasting. Although that confuses me a little bit, Michael, because in college you can just stop the clock. There's no need to book anybody.
I've had my fill, and I think we've all had our fill in the world's game at any level of refereeing decisions, VAR, anything, and it makes my brain hurt because I don't even think I know what the rules are anymore, because anytime I think I do, something happens. But the good news is we're getting back to play shortly.
Right here that we're both bumping and pushing into each other. I'm not issuing cards. It's a warning on both teams, but I'm not issuing cards on it. Okay? 7 minutes on the clock, and we'll restart with a white throw.
Restart. Let's go.
Pretty good job there from our Nat Sound mics of picking up. I guess there was some jostling down there as well, but no cards being given for that. So we will reset it to 7 minutes, and the clock will start on the throw. Time running out now for Wake Forest. They found the equalizer early in the second half. Nothing since.
There, if you're Alex Wood, do a good job of beating the first defender. With Boston College, their two center backs, as soon as one of their teammates gets beat, they're looking to be aggressive and bite. That means get more numbers up to that line.
A reminder of how we've gotten to this point. Early on, Ella Richards.
It'll be Boston College that came out swinging in this. Ella Richards doing well to position herself within the 6. But the Demon Deacons, they got a bit of luck. The ball in. Amanda Swanson, slow roller, hits off the post. And it's 1-1.
Clock ticking on Wake Forest. This result, if it stands, opens up a lot of possibilities for that final 6th spot in the ACC championship. And for those standings, a lot of teams standing by. Pretty good ball. Villabrand diving down and makes a clean play on it.
Small want that back. She knew what she wanted to do, and Wood was keeping her with, waiting for that ball and really initiating of saying, hey, play that in there. I'm staying onside, but she checks her initial pass and then gets it wayward, puts too much on it. That's why Villabrand could come in and collect.
Murphy has some daylight. Still Murphy, edge of that box, playing it across, oh, just missed. And a final touch corner coming for Wake.
So that was the moment right there. That's the player you want on it.
Here comes the Wake Forest.
Get to the end line. She did that earlier in this half. But not enough numbers in the box. Alex Wood's the only player to get in. I think a couple players, maybe small, looking for the cutback. Need players to mix up their runs to be effective.
5th corner coming on the night. Chavoshi again, this time from the left flag. In swinging ball, headed up into the air. And now BC can release some of that pressure. Away from everyone. Cahill, way out of her box.
nerves start to build, tensions start to rise. For both these teams, you're so close. All it takes is one moment, one half chance. And for Wake, you got 3 minutes left. Get the ball wide as soon as you can and start getting crosses. And it's not going to be from deep areas. You don't want to hit it central because that makes it easy to defend. And it's an excellent switch of play from Dempsey.
Nice ball to Swanson as well. She goes down, crunching tackle, play on. And BC wins the throw in the end of all that.
Some looks and a bit of discomfort, and she feels every bit of that tackle.
Clock is now stopped at 2:47.
Some College has laid some significant tackles there, and it's good to see Swanson get up. Timing of that tackle, and that's a clean tackle. Sometimes you see players go down, look winded. Boston College, Bella Douglas making a significant contribution with a monster tackle late on in this game.
Two and a half left to play. Paint it pink night here at Spry. Malika Mina. Mina outside of the boot pass. Johnson. Hansborough. An inverted run. Johnson has space for the service. Now Nikki Small earns a corner. Clock ticking under 2.
Here comes
Bella Douglas again with another big tackle. Quality first touch from Small. The first touch sets it up so she can spin Douglas. Douglas gets every inch of those boots to set up this corner kick.
Maybe the 6th of the night. Shavoshi has been busy. Looking for something late at home. Shavoshi to that back post. Villabrandt has it, goes down.
One minute
Wilson
remaining in the
looking
second
for
half.
a second result in as many matches for his side. Those of you standing by Notre Dame, North Carolina, it's coming up next. A whistle and a foul there. Clock still rolling. I want to thank Everett Hutto, Drew DeMarcantonio, Jason Christie, and Adam Orfinger. Back in the Wake Forest control rooms. All of our cameras here from Spry. Great job tonight. BC not done yet. Eagles looking for it, just missing the far post. Almost had an absolute shocker of an ending.
10, 9.
And the final 10 seconds, Michael Wake going to come up just short of the win. Things have opened up now in the ACC for that final 6 spot.
Disappointing night, disappointing result for the Demon Deacons. Head coach Tony DeLuce shaking his head. It's not over yet, though, but they